Hello and welcome back to another painting video. Today we are going to be painting Asajj Ventress from Star Wars Shatterpoint. I figured this would be a good time to do this video since it's a pretty new game. So we've gone ahead and kind of prepped our model, how we do. And we did our gray and white dry brush over the whole thing, and that's what is going to give us her skin tone. I think that's probably the best course of action for her. I'm looking at reference here on the box because the box is huge and I'm trying to figure out where some of the colors are, but we'll just get going here. Oh, let me see. So let's start with this Magos Purple contrast paint to get her coat done. But so some things I've noticed while building the Shatterpoint characters. Well, first of all, it's a game by Atomic Mass Games, and if you don't know this about Atomic Mass Games, is they don't like to include instructions in their models. I find it a little crazy that even in the starter set for this brand new game, there's no instructions, so you gotta go online and get them. So it's kind of a bummer, especially for like newer people to model building and miniature games. It's definitely not the norm for this to happen like that. So just keep that in mind when you're buying anything from Atomic Mass Games, including Marvel Crisis Protocol, and even like the newer like Legion stuff. So there's no instructions. So we're getting her. Oh, and then also another thing is that these lightsabers are pretty thin in comparison like to the Legion ones. So just be careful. Just try not to snap them. We have to definitely drop these a couple times, so it's not like that fragile, but just be aware. Clean that brush. I'm going to switch to a smaller brush now because we're going to be getting her top bit. So just get some good amount of paint on the brush, and we're just gonna. I have built a lot of these models already, and I kind of want to do it like, I'm just gonna be showing the videos for probably the leaders and the like lieutenants or whatever, the second in commands, because for the most part, if you know how to paint one of these things, you're gonna know how to paint the whole thing. So like in the case of the clone troopers, right, I'll paint Rex, and I've painted clone troopers a lot on this channel anyway, but if you know how to paint Captain Rex, you can paint the other clone troopers. Then I'm gonna paint Darth Maul, and I mean he's individual, like those guys, like the heroes are individual, but the lieutenants, like Bo-Katan, if I paint her, you'll know how to paint the rest of the what are they called, night owls. So yeah, that's just kind of the philosophy that I'm gonna go through with it. The only exception probably is the droids, because they are pretty different, and they also are the hardest ones to build just because they don't have, their joints are ball joints, they're not sockets like these are. So like the pose is going to be set for here, versus building Kalani, he's a little wobbly because it's all ball joints. So we're just getting her base coated. The best we can here. is probably like a little lighter than I would like it, but we can fix it probably, maybe. Maybe. And then for her little cape thingy is a little weird. It's like a dark red, but I don't have a dark red. So we're gonna go with Blood Angels red for this, and then we're gonna probably like black wash over the top of it, I think is probably the call here. Let me just look at the reference here really quick. Ugh, this box is so heavy. We can probably get away with a brown, maybe. Like the Gore-Grunter fur, maybe. Let's do that. Let's go with Gore-Grunter fur. And then see what happens. So, you want to get this guy. Whoop. And just getting that nice and covered. Okay. Now let's get these wraps with this skeleton horde color. The one I usually don't clean my mold lines, but the one downside right here is you can clearly see that one right there, and that's kind of annoying. But maybe we will fix it later. But for now, this is what we're just gonna leave it for now, because you don't have to clean the mold lines. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You also don't have to paint these models how they look in the show and the movies. You do it however you want to do. If you want to paint Asajj in like light side colors, or want to paint her rainbow colors, you do you. You can do whatever you want. I am just going to paint them like the show, because I like those colors. So let's get her wraps up here. Okay, and that's all her wraps done. So now, let's take like a real purple and mix it down a little bit. So let's do this blue violet color. And we'll probably mix it with no, we're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it. And then we're just gonna kind of go into some areas here and just add this color to it to make it a little more vibrant. Especially like, like in these high vis areas. Just getting the high points. Some of these areas here and there. The spots that the most light would get on. Same thing here, just getting that. Okay. Now we can get our gunmetal for the lightsabers. Get those. I think they have like black handles, like wraps on the handles too, so we'll get that in a second. I just want to get the majority of them here. And then we will get our Blood Angels Red for the lightsabers. So just get that. It's probably too dark of a red, but this is the only contrast I have right now. So you could either just thin it out and make it small and put it on there, or there's also other reds that you can get that are probably a lot more vibrant. But this will work for our purposes right now. So her lightsabers are done. Okay, now what we're gonna do is get some of this ghost gray for her skin highlights. And just kind of get some of the higher points of her skin. So, like her face, we want her eyebrows, her nose, her cheekbones. We can get her top of her lip here and her chin. I don't know how well you can see that, but get the tops of her ears. Just get those cheek lines right there. Okay, so now we gotta let this sit for it to dry enough to where we can get our next step in. So we'll be back in a second while that dries. Welcome back. This has had plenty of time to dry, and I've also taken an X-Acto knife to her head to maybe clean off that mold line, so we'll see. Let's get to our gray. We got our medium sea gray back, and just kind of repaint in that area. Here we go, looks so much better. I mean, the color isn't quite there yet, but we can fix that. Okay. And we'll just take some matte white. And just kind of lightly brush it over the top of that area to fix it. Let's get some of this. Let's go back here and just here we go, so that blended it back in. Now we gotta do some washes. What is that from? Let's get our Nuln Oil to get her skin kind of darker in just some areas, like just in the cracks and crevices. So we're gonna do it like kind of targeted instead of all over. So like in there, and then like her mouth. Oop. You can get the eyes. Bit, and then under here, like that little chin area, and then on the belt here, just actually we can probably do, I'm going to darken the purple a little bit too, so we might as well just take our brush here and we can go kind of all over. Even the bandages too, we can go over. Just want to darken her up a little bit more. Ooh. So get the belt. Her whole cloak, dress. The arms, arm wraps. Sorry about my throat, it's a little clogged with phlegm. I know you probably didn't want to hear that, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so we got those arm wraps all darkened up. Now, let's get our bronze color, our brassy brass, which I had a new one. It's been sitting here this whole time. Been complaining about not having any. And there'll probably be like another video because I'm going to put this one ahead of some of them that say like, I don't have this color, and it's, I did. I just didn't look in my pile of paints like an idiot. And we're just going to go and get these guys. Just use like a light touch to help avoid the recess areas as best you can. Especially like up here. Okay. So now we can go back to our white that we had put down. And then just kind of do some little highlights on the boxes, on the waist. A little bit. Just to give her a little bit more style. And also we can get that Null Oil back actually, because I forgot to get her back. I'm gonna like kind of pin wash into her spine and like her shoulder blades. Okay, and then we'll go back with our Ghost Gray just to get some final highlights, because now that we've done like a wash and stuff and we fixed her head and stuff, we want to just kind of clean that up a little bit more. So just shade right there a little bit. Go get some of those areas. You can even get like probably like the tips of her fingers. Just a little bit on the head. Probably like the shoulder blades. Just little hits of color here and there to bring her out more. Oop. And there we have it. That is Asajj Ventress for Star Wars Shatterpoint. I hope you like it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll be seeing some more Shatterpoint as I go through these and stuff too. So, you know, stay tuned if you want to see the other ones, and like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. And we'll see you guys on the next one.